Alright, sorry about that. If you're watching this on Twitch, you know what I just said didn't make sense for any if you're not watching on Twitch, because I cut that part out. But yeah, I just had to wait for a few minutes there. If you're watching this on Twitch, not looking too good. I'm seeing a lot of red on the square here. Now it's yellow, now it's red, now it's yellow, now it's green, now it's red. Yeah, 41% dropped frames. That's horrible. Why am I even doing this on Twitch? Alright. Welcome back to the Jason Sellers Politics Podcast. I am Jason Sellers. I'm 18, live in Minneapolis. This is the second episode of my podcast, and I'm going to be honest, I might be a little distracted today, and that's because I'm watching the Jaguars and the Bengals Thursday night football game in the background. Not very professional, but the main reason I'm doing this is because I said I would do it every month, and it's the last day of September, so I got to do it. So, what are we going to talk about today? I'd say today might be a short one. We are going to talk about a couple of things. Not going to tell you what they are.
Alright, sorry about that.
Alright, now I got to turn this down. And let me just, if you're watching this on YouTube and Twitch right now, I am just snapping a quick picture to tell. That's weird, I'm not going to do that. I am snapping a quick picture just to tell people we're live. Alright, so Jason Sellers Politics Podcast, episode number 2. Yeah, first episode is on YouTube or Spotify. And I forgot to set the setting for the archive on Twitch for 2 weeks, so it's no longer on Twitch, which is probably a good thing because it's very laggy and my Wi-Fi isn't that good. Although it's gotten a little better over the past few seconds. So, welcome to Jason Sellers Politics Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about Minneapolis politics, Minnesota politics, American politics, and world politics in order. So we talk about Minneapolis politics the most and world politics the least. Today we are going to be going over a few things, and I don't know why I keep saying that because I'm not going to tell you what they are. But let me just let you know a few differences. First of all, I got a haircut since last time. Second of all, I got new glasses. The haircut, you might not be able to notice it because I didn't brush my hair. Because I can't find my wet brush right now, and I want to brush it down so it's straighter. But I got a haircut, and I got new glasses, and I got a new webcam, which hopefully looks clear and hopefully it sounds better because it has a microphone too. So, yeah, I didn't notice too much of a difference, but a lot of it is because my computer is very slow. It's a very not powerful laptop. I got it for like $250, and so it's gonna be a little laggy. But the audio has been good. On the first podcast, the audio seemed to be smooth. It was just the video that lags. So when I did the test for the webcam, I couldn't really tell. All right. I have created a poll. I only have 2 answers on it so far. One of them is me, but it's a poll. Oh, Tyler Boyd, big play. It is a poll about Minneapolis, the elections. It's about the first question is, just you live in Minneapolis, what ward do you live in? And some people might not even know what ward they live in. And then asks you what mayoral candidates you currently have a favorable opinion of. You don't have to answer any, but you can if you want. And then it goes through a few. Issues, and how you feel, how important they are, how critical are they right now in Minneapolis? Joe Burrow fake, toss to Jamar Chase. That's not a good plan. So, yeah, do the poll. It's on my Twitter and on my Facebook. I don't know if it's my pinned tweet or not. You can find links to all my sites. I now have a link tree on my Twitter and Instagram in my bio, so you can click my link tree to see the different sites. Alright, so let's get into one of the 2 main topics. I got a few topics, 2 of them are big, or they're the 2 main topics. First off, I want to talk about vaccine mandates. Particularly COVID vaccine mandates. Yeah, I think they're necessary. I think they should be a thing. because you need immunization records to get into school already. I mean, come on. Come on. I personally trust in science, so not gonna lie, I've never gotten a flu shot, but I am planning to start doing that this year. The reason I never got a flu shot is because I saw my mom get a flu shot once, and it was traumatizing because it went into like her wrist or something. I don't know, but I've always been afraid of flu shots. But there's shots aren't that big a deal anymore. And, because I never got them when I was a little kid, I thought, okay, maybe I don't need them, but I think I should get them starting now. But flu shots aren't like other shots that are mandatory. You should get all your mandatory shots. You should get a COVID vaccine because it's getting worse. And we were looking good. We were looking so good. And now, what happened? People didn't get vaccinated. That's what happened. People stopped masking. I'm back to wearing a mask even though I'm fully vaccinated. I don't have a booster shot yet because I got Moderna and that's not approved yet. But I am fully vaccinated otherwise since April. So yeah, vaccine mandates. I think the whole vaccine mandate for companies over 100 people, I don't think that's unconstitutional or anything at all. Oh, big play, 19. Okay, I don't even know who that is on the Bengals. All right. I think a vaccine mandate's a great idea, and I think it's necessary, and I think action needs to be taken, and I think proof of vaccine is going to have to start being a thing because it's not that big a deal. You got it. New Jersey and Minnesota, you can get it on your phone now. I mean, you just take the piece of paper out of your wallet and show it to them. Maybe you get it in a little lanyard thing, so you don't laminate it because you're gonna need a booster, but you get it in a little lanyard thing and you show it to a person. I mean, what's the big deal about that? It takes like 10 seconds. Vaccine mandates, do it. It shouldn't need to be done. Get the vaccine. And you know what? As much as I don't believe in the cause, I can see the quote unquote logic that someone could have to be anti-vaccine. You can say, well, maybe scientists are wrong, or maybe it'll make me sick, or maybe I'll have an allergic reaction to it, or maybe it doesn't work because it's only been a thing for less than a year. But being against masks, I mean, what is the inconvenience? It's the most minor of inconveniences. So, I mean, wear a mask, and if you're not vaccinated, I mean, definitely wear a mask. Because you're not going to lie, kind of ruin it. Ooh, Joe Burrow got blitzed. Nice little dump off Joe Mixon. Ooh, that's scary. You are ruining it for the rest of us, not going to lie. I'm just going to be blunt. All right, so the other big topics. This is going to be a short podcast. We're only 11 minutes in, and I've already gotten half the big topics I want to cover. Country Pride, not the Southern restaurant that's in like Ohio that I've been to one time. Country Pride is in being proud of your country. Now this mainly goes for the United States, but I mean it's applicable to any country. Should you be proud of your country? Should you support your country? I mean, different questions. Unconditionally, no matter what. I'm going to say no. Oh, Jamar Chase, big move. No, he got tackled. All right. I'm going to say no because, for me, United States, compared to some countries, I know is great. We don't have a dictator. We, women are allowed to do things like go to school. Like, it's quote unquote a free country, although for not a lot of people, it's really not. Let's be honest. Don't have martial law, but no country's perfect, and the United States is far from perfect, especially historically. I don't remember what it was, but I was listening to, I think it was the Views podcast, but they were saying in Germany, like, how do you feel about Nazis? Like, you guys aren't proud of them. Like, is it awkward talking about it in school? And then the point gets brought up. Well, slavery. Yeah, slavery is pretty bad. That was pretty terrible. It's pretty horrific. Everything I just said is obvious. I hope. I really hope it's obvious. I can't believe slavery being bad. I don't really think slavery being bad is... it's not a polarizing opinion, but is it unanimously supported opinion. I mean, it has to be. I mean, still people with Confederate flags out there. Loving Robert E. Lee. 43-yard field goal by Evan McPherson is no right over the upright. They're gonna say it is no good. All right. Why couldn't he do that against the Vikings? I was at that game. I was in Cincinnati, and oh my god. Okay, whatever. Wear a mask. Get vaccinated. Now, should you be proud of your country? No. Well, I mean, you should support it. I think you should support it just because it's in your best interest, maybe. You don't want to... That sounds kind of like a threat, actually. You want to support it because it's in your best interest. You should want to support it because you should want the people, you and your people around you, to have the best lives that they can, right? But at the same time, if you want to escape your country, like a refugee situation, you should focus on that. But should you be proud of your country? I don't necessarily think so. I don't necessarily think people should have to stand for the national anthem, especially not God Bless America. I don't think this national anthem should be mandatory. I don't think it's a noteworthy thing. Don't even start talking about the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, in some cases, I'd say play the national anthem. I don't think it should be mandatory. I don't think it should be banned, because that's getting on a freedom of speech level type thing. But the national anthem, Colin Kaepernick should have stayed in the league. I don't know if he should be in the league anymore because he probably hasn't played football very much in the past few years, but he shouldn't have had to not play football. He should have been in the league. I mean, let's be honest, he kind of got blackmailed there. He wasn't very good at his last couple of years, but he was being better than some people that stayed in the league. Let's be honest. National anthem, I'd say play it opening weekend because that's always around the 11th of September. But maybe play it on Veterans Day weekend. But I mean, other than that, I'm talking about NFL. I guess MLB you played on those actual days, Memorial Day. Other sports as well. Those are the two main sports I follow: NFL and MLB. So country pride. Should you be proud of your country, man? It's an interesting topic because on one hand, you live there, but on the other hand, you might not want to live there. And you may stay there not necessarily because of the benefits, but you may just want to stay there to avoid the hassle of what it takes to move and become a citizen of another country, which is a whole other issue: immigration. When we get Biden on the podcast, we'll talk about. That brings up a topic. I do want to get, this month coming up. Tomorrow's October. This is the last month before voting, before the election, I should say. Early voting started. I'll talk about that in a second. But I do want to get people on this podcast, particularly Ward 1 candidates, because that's where I live. I've talked to one of them about it, and they said they'd do it. So I was going to send an email out a while ago, but I was going to wait, and then I was going to do it again, but then I decided to wait until this podcast was out. Which is, I was going to do it yesterday. Why didn't I do it yesterday? Oh yeah, I got a headache and fell asleep. That's why. All right. So let's talk about the topic that I briefly touched on: early voting. Early voting started September 17th, day before my dog's birthday. I hope he's okay. He just ate a big box of protein bars, chocolate protein bars too. All right. He's done it before though. It's the rappers I'm really worried about. He got a couple of the rappers, I'm sure. Early voting started September 17th. Now you may think as a first-time voter, I would jump on that and be like, I can't wait to vote. Let's do it. I didn't though. I did not. Now why didn't I? That is the question. A couple of reasons. One, the minor reason is because I am a first-time voter and I want to feel the election day routine. I'm not even going to lie about it. I kind of want to just vote on election day. And the other reason, the big reason is I wouldn't call myself undecided, but I'm not 100% locked into my choices. Oh my God, Trevor Lawrence, what are you doing? I think I know the 2 mayoral candidates I'm going to rank. I'm not going to rank 3, I don't think, because in reality, there's about 3 candidates who can actually win, one of which is Jacob Fry. I'm not saying I'm 100% not going to vote for Fry. If he gets on this podcast and he convinces me, maybe I'll vote for him. Right now, though, not leaning towards it. So the order of which one I'm going to rank first and second is what I'm still kind of debating, although I think I might know. And then Ward 1, I'm pretty sure if I'm going to go for City Council, but again, I do want to get them on the podcast too, just to, both of them, just to, there's 4, but the other 2, Calvin Carpenter and Thomas Wortman, are they really candidates? No, not really. So I want to get them, I'd like to get those 5 candidates, and maybe the one Park District 1 candidate on, even though he's running unopposed. So if I could get all 6 of those in by the end of October, that'd be great. So I'm going to email those guys. I'm using guys as a neutral term there. Don't jump on my back there. I'll email in those people soon, probably tomorrow. And I'll send them a link to these first 2 podcasts. That's what I was waiting for. So I've not really voted yet, but you should do it, especially if you're worried about COVID and you don't want to wait in lines. Although it is not a national election, so there will be less turnout than a federal election, I should say, than 2020. I was saying that quietly just to see how quiet it really was. 2 more topics. First of all, mayoral power. There is a question on the ballot this year. You can see your ballot. You go to the Minnesota Secretary of State site, put in your address. You can see they have a ballot for every precinct. Ooh, Orange got hit there. They're driving, though. Jaguars are driving. You can see a ballot for every precinct. There's 3 questions, one of which is mayoral power. Should they shift to give the mayor more power? I'm pretty confident I'm on the side of not doing it, even though I kind of want to run for mayor in the future and it would benefit me, but that's not how democracy should work, right? Part of me thinks, well, what's the point of a mayor if they don't have power? But at the same time, part of me thinks, well, the mayor does stuff already. I mean, he does the budget, we know that. But should he get more power? I say he because it's a he right now. That's a touchdown for the Jaguars. I say no. Because city council, I think a group's opinion is always more balanced. I don't know if balance is the right word, but I think a group's opinion is always more a better representation and more thought out than an individual. So on question 1, I say vote. I think no is the answer to that question. I think the question is should they shift it? So no. Maybe it's the opposite and say yes, but I think it's no. And then on might as well talk about it. Question 2 and question 3. No on question 2. Wait. Yes on question 2. Oh boy, that was almost a disaster. Yes on question 2. I create a Department of Public Safety. Oh boy, I almost got myself in hot water there. Vote yes on question 2. On question 3, I think rent control is yes, as in yes to rent control. So that's how I feel about the questions. All right, climate change is our last topic. This is a much shorter podcast than the last one. I just want to say, it's real, guys. Climate change is a thing. Think of all the hurricanes. Think of the blizzards. Think of the droughts. Think of the non-snowy winters. It's man-made. It's going to take more than using plastic straw or using paper straws and glass straws. It's going to take more than recycling. Scam likely? No, thank you. It's going to take more than individual responses. It's going to take corporations. It's going to take governments. It's going to take everybody. And the things you can do, recycling, not buying, saying no on napkins and silverware, they don't make so much of a difference. We need the corporations, we need the governments to, step it up. It's real, guys. It is real. Podcast info. You can find this podcast live on Twitch and then shortly after on YouTube and Spotify. It's going to be only audio on Spotify, obviously, but it'll be much more higher quality on YouTube and Spotify, at least Spotify, because I don't think the audio cuts out on when I record it, because I'm streaming and I'm recording. So on Twitch, if you're watching this, it's probably not going well, although the drop frames has dropped down to 12.7, so we must be doing pretty smooth over the past few minutes. Other than that, you can find all my stuff on, you can just go to my Instagram at VoteSellers. It's on the top there if you're watching this on YouTube, or my Twitter at VoteSellers also. And there will be a link tree in the bio, and you can see my website, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Spotify. Yeah, so that's how you can check out the podcast at least once a month. And this was kind of a lazy, short podcast because I just wanted to get something out. I said I'm going to do a live stream every month starting in February, March earlier this year, and I didn't do it, and I did it once. So I'm really trying to stick to it, and I waited till the end of September because I didn't really know what to talk about. I was going to talk about a few things. I was going to talk about the Minnesota Young DFL Parks at Large screening, which I showed up to. There's like 6 people there. I got nervous and I left. And then I was going to talk about Mayor Fry's budget address. And I watched it, and I couldn't take much from it. I will say, though, too much on police. Saying this next sentence might make my approval rating go way down, but defunding the police is not the bad idea. It's not abolishing the police, which I don't think is that bad of an idea. I think abolishing the police is probably better than what we have right now. But defunding the police does not mean... Defunding means funding less, not zero. So don't overreact when people say defund the police. When people say abolish the police, you can react a little more, but still. Like the question 2, there is literally a sentence in the flyer you probably got if you live in Minneapolis that says, if you are in danger, an armed police officer will arrive. Other situations, mental health crises, other stuff like that, no armed. Traffic violations. Alright, one last time. Poll. It's in my Twitter. The link's on Twitter and Facebook. You can find those on my link tree, which is on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching / listening. And this wasn't a very great podcast, but I'm kind of distracted because Joe Burrow almost threw a pick. Oh my god. Wear a mask. Get vaccinated if you haven't. Get the booster shot. Get a flu shot.